Oh, here you go.
Oh,
here's let Nick take this.
Go ahead, Jen.
No,
I'm sorry.
finish.
No. Jenna speaks. I apologize. I got overexcited.
Yeah, you did. There's a reason the Cavs are never out of a game in which LeBron James plays. He's that good. Last night was proof. Cleveland trailing 17 to the Wizards with just over 7 to play on head coach Ty Lue's first night back from sick leave. LeBron said he wanted Ty Lue to get the win, so guess what? Oh, he just went out and got Ty Lue the win. Scored 13 of his 33 in the fourth. Cavs winners of 10 of 11. Here's LeBron after the game on his mentality in that fourth quarter.
Well, you know it's time on the clock. So, I don't have a quit bone in me. So if I'm on the floor, I got to try to make plays happen no matter what the score is. And it's just my mindset.
With the way LeBron was so instrumental in that fourth quarter comeback, what's there left to say about what he's done this season?
Stop point shaving the first 3 quarters. About to give me a heart attack, man. If you play like that from the jump, we win by 20-something.
Jenna, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what day is it today?
Today's Friday.
Why does that matter? Oh, Chris Mannix said, talk to me Friday. Didn't care that the Cavs beat down the Raptors. Talk to me Friday after they play Washington. Well, it's Friday.
To be specific, I said, wake me up after they beat the Wizards. Okay. And I got about a dozen texts tweets late last night from people saying, are you awake?
Are you awake?
Are you awake? Are you awake? I'm awake. I get it.
Your thoughts on what you saw.
Okay. There's nothing more you can say about LeBron James. He's offensively, this is the best season of his career. Mm-hmm. He's playing brilliant basketball. How he was able to pull their fat out of the fire in the fourth quarter last night, it was nothing short of remarkable. And the mental edge that LeBron has on so many of these teams, it's something to watch because Washington,
it's real.
They've been blitzed by LeBron going back to like Gilbert Arenas days. Mm-hmm. Toronto, we know their history with LeBron. That mental edge is going to be huge for them. But I don't know how you can watch that game and declare it a wrap and declare like, oh, the Cavs are a lock to go to the finals. What were the third quarter numbers? What was it, like 36 to
Oh, it was
something?
brutal in the third quarter. I know that at one point Washington was on a 58-28 run.
Right. And look,
58-28
It was absurd. And can you just say without a shadow of a doubt that that's not going to happen in the
no. I think it'll happen a lot in the postseason, and then that'll happen. That's the thing is, as long as they let you play the 4 quarters.
Can he play that flawlessly every game of the postseason? Here's what I would say to you, Nick.
Wasn't even that good of a game for LeBron for the way he's been playing.
4 minutes. Last 4 minutes were unbelievable.
Yeah, but they're 33, 9, 14 on 60%. Yeah, it's about what I expect from him each
Here's
night.
just the one thing. The one thing you have to remember about LeBron in the playoffs. There's no margin for error for him in this postseason. In the past, there have.
That is correct.
In the past, there have been margins for errors. You go back to, we've talked about this. Game 4 conference finals last year when LeBron went out with foul trouble. They needed Kyrie Irving to have the second half of his life to avoid going back to Boston 2-2. They probably win that series anyway, but who cares? Well, there's no way LeBron can get into foul trouble. There's no way LeBron can have a bad fourth quarter. If he does, they lose that game.
Even to your point, with him playing amazing, if they don't get those 2 stops at the end, I mean, because not to mention LeBron's free throw
sequences. Like John Wall, would you stop with the mid-range jump shots? Like,
I mean, they're moving the ball. They're scoring. They're doing what they want to do offensively. Now, all of a sudden, I'm going to take them by myself. I'm going to make this personal. No, I mean, if they get 1 bucket at the end, you are right. LeBron's margin, that's a fact. Now, that's not a big enough fact for Nick to be concerned.
Not yet.
But brilliant LeBron still at the end, because this team doesn't have, to me, they don't have that other guy like Kyrie. I believe that LeBron's stronghold over the East, though, that is real. And that will play out. But these other guys, that's why I tell you, Nick, down the stretch, these other guys making shots and having good results with LeBron, it's important because they haven't seen that.
And so far, it hasn't been consistent. So far, it's been LeBron, Kevin Love, and maybe this guy. LeBron, Kevin Love, and maybe that guy.
They're still changing their rotation.
They don't have a
right now. They decided yesterday that it's going to be Kevin Love and Jeff Green in the front court for the rest of the season. Like, these are not. This is not
played one game with their full lineup.
79 games, 80 games,
79 games.
79 games, 29 different starters. Now, I'll give LeBron credit for that. In playing all these games, 29 different starting lineups. Like, that is hard to get the type of results that they have.
And, all right, so let's talk about what you just said. Margin of error, right? Because the Cavs, since LeBron's been back in Cleveland, they've played 9 series against Eastern Conference opponents. 6 of those have been sweeps. 2 of those have gone, 1 of those has gone 5 games. 2 of those have gone 6 games. The minimum amount of games you can play to get to the NBA Finals is 12. They have played 14, 14, and 13 in his 3 years back. So even if the margin is smaller, and even if Toronto's better, you still have an enormous gulf to bridge, which I don't see it being bridged. But what people have to stop doing in their Cavs analysis is this part of it. Well, what happens when LeBron isn't that good? Man, when's the last time LeBron wasn't that good in the playoffs? The last time LeBron was not that level of good in the playoffs was the Dallas series in 2011. That was almost 7 years ago. Like, we have to worry about every player in the league. What if they have an off night in the playoffs? It happens to Steph. It happens to KD. It happens to Harden. It happens to Russ. It has not happened to LeBron. He has
But
not
besides Russ, though, he's got the least amount of support. Like, that's real.
I would agree with you that he has the least amount of support. He is also that much better than everybody else. And what was most impressive to me about late in that game, and this is why in any spot he can do this, and Ty Lue says, why wasn't he doing it the whole time? And I know our pal Skip was saying, why wasn't he doing it the whole time? The answer is because it's exhausting. Because you can't play like that for 44 minutes.
Yeah. That's not a decent argument.
It's just like, you can't do that. It's not fair to ask anyone. But what LeBron can do that none of the other players in the league can do is dominate the game from the scoring and passing aspect. The play to Jeff Green, where he's looking, he sees Jeff Green cutting, he knows he's making the fake pass there. You tweeted, you were like, the way he can dominate the game, just seize the game,
yes.
is unlike anything you said in the NBA today. I would say other than Magic Johnson, NBA history. Like, that is what you're going to get from LeBron in the postseason. And I know people are going to come out and say, oh, well, now with Kyrie hurt and all these things. We have to be fair here. The big team all year long that people were saying would challenge Cleveland was Toronto.
Yeah,
Toronto is fully healthy.
Yes.
So, like, people...
But it wasn't just Toronto, what they were doing. It's the overall lack of continuity and everything that was going on in Cleveland. So it's just not, oh, Toronto's going to be, it's also the smoke that was coming out of Cleveland.
That's it. Like, 2 things you said there. One, the numbers from the last 3 years since LeBron's been back in Cleveland are utterly meaningless right now. Completely meaningless because Kyrie Irving's not there. Because they're trotting out whether it's Jose Calderon or George Hill instead of Kyrie Irving. The other thing you said was that, you kind of walked over the line that, the gap has closed or the margin for error is smaller. The margin for error went from the distance between you two sitting here at the desk and like this. It's paper thin for LeBron James and that team. He doesn't play well, they lose. That wasn't the case in the past. Plus, as we just talked about, the Eastern Conference, the top-tier teams, so obviously Boston's out of it, but Toronto, they're much better. Philadelphia, they're going to be tough. I think Washington, once Wall gets into a rhythm, is going to be tough for them in the playoffs. I think this is going to be the most challenging postseason of LeBron James' career.
Do you think the Cavs will play a single elimination game in the Eastern Conference playoffs?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
It might not be more than one. But I think they play one. Look, and that's not a knock on them. People take me saying the Cavs suck, but it's not.
No.
Look, the Warriors did. The Warriors played one just 2 years ago.
Your analysis of the Cavs is true. They're not as good as they were. This season, LeBron struggled more than any other season in Cleveland. Those are things that we saw in 79 games.
Yeah.
It's not like we just pulled that out of a hat.
You know what we've also seen in 79 games? They're going to win the same amount or more games than they did last year with Kyrie.
My projection, biggest game of the season for the Toronto Raptors is going to be Game 1 of the conference finals against Cleveland.
Toronto better get there.
That's right. No, but Toronto better get there. But Toronto, they need to take a lead on the Cavs.
They
can't
lost
keep
10
playing from
straight
behind.
game ones.
Exactly. They can't keep playing from behind. Not against Cleveland.
Big game for Cleveland tonight. They're taking on the Sixers. Should be a fun one.
Wake me after that one. Okay. Wake me after that.
You're very tired.